Good morning team, Dave and Julz here from HWPO Fitness. I am a motivational speaker, transformation coach and qualified personal trainer. And we're here this morning to bring you the very first episode of the HWPO Fitness podcast. How does that sound, Julz?
That sounds awesome, Dave.
It's got a pretty good ring to it, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Well, we've been toying with this idea for the last year or so, and I think that we've got between us some really cool ideas that we'd like to share with you guys to help you along in your journey that is life. And that can be fitness related, nutrition, lifestyle, anything Marvel related. So we thought we may as well just get stuck in and start it. So today's episode is entitled Regressed Goal Setting with a View. Now, before we get stuck into the content, we're going to give you a bit of a lay of the land and see what we're working with this morning. And Julz, being the local gal of the area, why don't you describe to the lovely folk at home what we're working with on our trail run this morning?
Alrighty, so we are at Porcupine Reserve. This is a vard to look at. We're looking over the edge of Gunnedah. You can see a coal train moving along there.
Coal train.
Yep.
We're in the country, gang.
We're going to be travelling along that road next to the railway line this morning, going back to Sydney. So getting the last taste of gunny before we head back to the big smoke.
The big smoke. Now, hang on, let me get this set up again. Oh, first go. So we've been coming up here almost every morning while we've been away, trying, like everyone else, to stick to our guns and stick to our goals of working out and working off the 12 kilos of seafood that I ate over the Chrissy break.
Yes.
And we set a goal to do some form of physical activity every day while we're away. And on the way up here, I asked Julz a question. I said, how long are we going for today? Is it 45 minutes? Is it an hour? And you had a pretty unique response. Why don't you fill the folk in of what we're talking about on the way up?
Yeah, so my goal for today was just to get out of bed and do something. So, yeah, in the lead up to the festive season, since I have stopped training at HWPO Show, I have had quite a relaxed few weeks. So, and everybody needs time off, and I needed some time to recharge. Because I loved my 6 weeks at HWPO Show, and so and then we came home for the festive season. So, and of course, there's always lots of Rose's chocolates to eat.
It was very festive. It was a very festive season.
Yes.
I ate all the festive.
Yes. Yeah. So my goal for today was just to get out and take the boys for a walk.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I didn't want to set a time limit to it or set how many Ks I wanted to do. I can do that later on once I've got back into the routine of getting out of bed every day. So I just want to be consistent with doing something every morning when I get out of bed. So that was my goal.
I love that. I love a couple of key points in there. Consistency.
Yes. And
we've spoken about this, that consistency is going to be the key word for 2016.
Definitely.
And the fact that you take all the worry and the stress out of working out, like I've got to hit this many hours or I've got to hit this many calories, is just simply get outside and do something.
Yeah.
Experiment with different activities. Because we both like going to the gym, but we also love getting out here and mingling with nature and taking the boys for a walk. And I think in doing that, you've discovered that you quite like doing hiking, as long as there's not too much shale and sheer rock faces to manoeuvre.
Indeed, yes.
That's really cool. So yeah, the point is there, I think, is to just take the stress away from goal setting, regress it back, and rather than saying you have to be this specific with your times of working out, in the early stages, just take it back and get outside or get off the couch, get out of bed and do something.
Yeah. And
then once you progress on from that, you can start, adding on time or reps or things like that. But in the early stages, if you're struggling with your goal setting, just get outside and move, or get up and move. So I know that makes me feel a lot better about it.
Yeah.
And I feel better once we get home and we can have our brekkie knowing that we've gotten up and done something.
Yeah, exactly. And people often ask us, how many times a week should I exercise? And the answer is really every day. So it doesn't matter how little. If you only have spare 20 minutes, that's more than enough.
Yeah.
And especially if you're just starting out, just getting into that rhythm and being consistent is definitely what it's all about.
Love it. Wow. Yeah, because we as PTs we say you've got to get specific about your goal setting in order to achieve your results. Yes, and we're not saying that that's not the case, but in the early stages, and if you find that you're struggling to hit your goals, maybe you've set the bar a little bit too high, and we want you to hit the goals. That's the point, is to not.
They should be achievable.
Yeah, they should be achievable. So, getting outside, taking the dogs for a walk, that is definitely achievable.
Definitely.
And we have hit that goal.
Yeah.
We've smashed it out of the ballpark, and you feel good about it. So in a couple of weeks, that might be to take them for a sprint up the hill, and we need to hit a certain time or something like that.
Yeah.
So. Very cool, Julz. I think we've covered the topic at hand. We're going to try to bring you a topic every week, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, if you've got any questions or any content that you'd like us to cover, Julz is going to give you the email address, because I always manage to stuff it up. That's why it's good to have Julz here with me now. She can get everything right for a change. What's the email that the folk can email us at to ask any questions?
AskDave@HWPOFitness.com.
Ooh, AskDave@HWPOFitness.com. So send us any questions you've got, guys. With any luck, we'll be able to include it in our podcast, and we'll get you guys some really good coverage and content, and together we can smash our goals for 2016. What do you think about that? Hey, Rowdy, what do you think about that? Yeah,
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go. All right, guys, stay tuned for more awesome content, and remember, HWPO, baby.
Hard work pays off.
Bye, guys.